Welcome to Zoom TV, the show we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Well, today, thanks to Sunliner, we're in the beautiful but chilly Dandenongs to experience their all-new Rialta.
Sunliner have been a leading manufacturer for the past 40 years in the RV industry.
And thanks to Esanda, I head to sugarcane country, Mackay, Queensland, home to New Pioneer Motors.
We're not so much a small town as what we used to be, but I think we've definitely still got that small town mentality.
Thanks to John Hughes Ford, Dan Paris checks out the all-new Fiesta ST.
The all-new redesigned Fiesta ST has got to be the most fun car I have driven in ages.
And our Esanda Celebrity Hitchhiker is V8 Supercar champion, Craig Lowndes. So sit down, get comfortable, because it's time for Zoom TV. If the idea of travelling around this big, beautiful country of ours in a motorhome appeals to you, but you're put off by their sheer size, then the all-new Sunliner Rialta is the camper van for you. Now, from the outside, it might look like a standard camper van, but the amount of creature comforts and luxuries that Sunliner have squeezed into it will astound you, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant at opening the door, but we're all good. I love the idea of hitting the open road and escaping from my everyday life. But the simple fact is that having to wrestle a giant, bulky truck around obstacles and into parking spaces tends to put me off. That's where the Sunliner Rialta is above the competition. It's incredibly compact, without skimping on any of the features you'd expect from Australia's most experienced motorhome manufacturer. The Sunliner Rialta camper van comes in a range of different cab chassis. This particular Rialta is mounted onto the Mercedes 313 and is powered by a Mercedes 2.2 litre turbo diesel, so there's plenty of pulling power there. It's also easy to drive thanks to the automatic manual mode transmission, and the best thing is you can drive one with a standard driving licence. That is cool. This is no simple van. Sunliner have spent a great deal of time ensuring all of the Rialta's features are there for a good reason. On the passenger side, you'll find a roll-out awning, perfect for keeping the weather off while you're trying to relax. And the cleverly hidden gas and water outlets demonstrate Sunliner's attention to detail. It's not until you step inside the Rialta that you realise just how much Sunliner's squeezed into it. We'll start at the front. You get rotatable front seats which swivel to reveal a large dining area. You also get a kitchenette complete with stovetop, microwave and of course a large fridge. Then you get yourself your shower and toilet, you get more storage options, and of course, you get yourself the large double bed. So Tori, what makes Sunliner RVs so good?
Our finish, our construction, and a lot of the things you don't see.
What do you mean by a lot of things you don't see?
Right throughout the build, everything's screwed and glued. We use quality hinges. Underneath the floor, we use a fully sealed chassis.
And stuff like that, that's going to give you the best lifetime and the best enjoyment out of your van, isn't it?
Well, that's right. Sunliner have been a leading manufacturer for the past 40 years in the RV industry.
Okay, so you guys know RVs.
We think we do.
The Rialta comes with not one, but two beds. That's right, the two-seater sofa at the front folds out to become a second bed. There are plenty of LED lights dotted around the Rialta's cabin, and the finish is modern and clean. Everything is glossy and white, with hidden storage spaces tucked away everywhere. There's also a reverse cycle air conditioner to guarantee a good night's sleep. So there you go. I told you there was more to the Rialta than meets the eye. I think Sunliner have done a great job of squeezing everything you need into a compact, easy to drive camper van. So now you have no excuse and hopefully a little bit of motivation to help you take on that next road trip adventure. If you think it's time you took on that adventure, jump onto sunliner.com.au or follow the links from Zoom TV. At John Hughes, they're a friendly and efficient company trading with integrity and determined to give their customers the very best of service. So to get a great deal on your next new or pre-owned vehicle, head into John Hughes. They stock a full range of new Hyundai, Volkswagen, Mitsubishi, Ford, Kia and now the new ZX and Geely. They can also offer you competitive and hassle-free finance options. To get a great deal, go to johnhughes.com.au, your car buying destination. He's a legend of motorsport. Later in the show, I get up close and personal with V8 supercar champion Craig Lowndes. If you're like me and you like a spoonful of sugar in your coffee, have you ever stopped and thought, where did that sugar come from? Well, more than likely it came from here, Mackay, North Queensland, one of the biggest producers of sugar in Australia. All of this, sugarcane. That is a big manufacturing plant for sugar. Now, Esanda's brought me here not to give you an agricultural lesson, but to introduce you to one of the sweetest Holden dealers in Australia, New Pioneer Motors. Now, I'm just waiting for Tim to come and pick me up. He said he'd be on time. Actually, I think this is him now. You have to be Tim. Thanks for being on time, Tim. Aaron Pitt, how are you?
How you going, Aaron?
Thanks for picking me up. Mate, I hope you brought some water. Sugarcane's great, but it's a little bit dehydrating.
Let's go.
Tim, thanks for picking us up. I've always wanted to taste fresh sugarcane. I got to tell you, it doesn't taste like sugar.
It's not that flash, is it?
It doesn't give you a lot of water. Now, before we get to your dealership, I just want to ask a couple of questions about you. Firstly, how did you get involved in the car industry?
It's just been something that I've been enthusiastic about since a young boy. So 17, 18 years of age, selling new and used vehicles, and it's just been one of those things. From there, it's taken off.
So your dad starts up New Pioneer. You come in as the manager, or was there a story between there and now?
To be perfectly honest, there was a lot of years of washing cars, Aaron. A lot of years of a lot of hard work before any of the glory came evident.
So was it always the intention that you were going to take on the family business?
It was never my intention initially. I was always, well, I did go into a law degree before I finished that early and finished a business degree and came back and worked at the dealership. But it is something that the family's always been involved in, and that's something that I wish to continue another generation.
Mate, now you've picked me up in a bit of style. You've got me in the Club Sport R8. I love the new dash. I love the layout. Holden have really worked hard to make the car look beautiful.
Ergonomically, they're a fantastic car, and you're right, aesthetically, they've gone to a lot of effort in the new VF model to make them very appealing to the general public. I love the new suede dash and carbon fibre trimmings. I think probably the most impressive thing is the new MyLink infotainment system in the VF Commodore. Everything from navigation to driver interfaces to Stitcher and Pandora.
This is the dealership. This is cool. Service straight to the front door. Tell you what, it's a lot bigger than I thought. It's massive. Whoa, so this is huge.
It's actually, we're very, very fortunate. So about 5 years ago, they did a full revamp, all fully air conditioned. So,
which is great, because I got to tell you, everywhere I go in Queensland, it's hot. I love the range of Holden coming through, but before I get into that, I want to talk more about your dealership. Wow, and it goes all the way down there as well. This is huge.
Yeah, we're really impressed with our facility up here.
This dealership was actually established by your father, wasn't it?
Most certainly. So 25 years ago, he took over. We're the second generation now running the dealership.
Tim, it's easy to see that you have made a massive investment in Holden. You must love the brand.
We've had a lot of faith in the brand for a number of years, and obviously we're very enthusiastic about them.
Is that what you think makes your dealership a bit unique, is the fact that it's not a job for you? It's probably easier to say it's a hobby?
I couldn't for the life of me think of something else that I'd rather be doing.
Now, I want to ask a couple of questions about Holden, because I think they held on to what they were for maybe a little bit too long. But the way they're thinking now is they've gone, well, we're not just going to do what everyone else is doing, we're going to do it a lot better.
Yeah, technology's paramount, and you can see that in the new VF Commodore. So things like collision avoidance systems, heads-up display. It's one of those things at the end of the day, I think the package that they put together is all-rounded.
Now, the range, they've actually come a long way. The Cruise, of course, and the new Holden, they're out. How are they doing?
So Commodore's taken off really, really well. So Commodore and Cruise, both Australian built. We're very proud of that fact, especially being in a small town. I think it's important to be able to embrace local product.
Now, Tim, I get asked a lot of questions from people about servicing. So I want to ask you about the Holden servicing.
So effectively, the manufacturer dictates service interval. So at the moment, under cap price servicing with Holden, 9 months or 15,000 kilometres. I think at our service division in particular, we're fast, we're friendly, and at the end of the day, that small town mentality really shows through.
Now, Tim, thanks for having us here in Mackay. I've got to say, the dealership is a lot bigger than what I expected. Now, I want to put the small town mentality to the test. I want you to be my tourist guide and show me around Mackay. You up for the challenge?
Love to.
There you go. In a HSV?
Deal.
There you go, got my way twice. Now, if you'd like to get your way, go to newpioneermotors.com.au or follow the links from Zoom TV. After the break, I'm back with Tim, my tourist guide, to show you more of Mackay. That's coming up on Zoom TV. Do you want to get more out of your diesel? Well, let the team at United Fuel Injection help you. They're the experts in diesel fuel injection, turbocharging and vehicle performance technologies. Make an appointment today and get more torque out of your diesel at unitedfuel.com.au. Welcome back to Zoom TV. Now, as promised, we're about to show you all around Mackay. Now, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get my tourist guide to do it. How are you, Tim?
Good, Aaron.
You didn't really go anywhere. You just want to set the cars up, make them look beautiful. Now, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
To be honest, I think we've had a little bit of a change of plans. I'm going to show you something that's a little bit more up your alley.
A little bit of a curveball. I don't mind the odd curveball, Tim. Well done. Okay, let's get out of here. Where are we now?
This is our pre-delivery facility. So this is where all the new vehicles are dropped off by semi-trailers and prepared for delivery.
Well, why have you brought me here, Tim? I've seen a lot of PD departments. I kind of get the impression that you're setting me up for something.
We'll have a look.
Okay, fair enough. I'll have a look. I'll get out. Oh, this
Aaron,
is mine.
This is the surprise. KC, Managing Director, New Pioneer.
See, how are you? Aaron Pitt, thank you very much for the car. I just really appreciate it.
Mate, not a problem at all. We'll get it on a transporter for you tomorrow.
You are, man, you're like my best friend. It's not going to happen though, is it?
No.
Yeah, that's all right. Tell me about it though. I'd love to hear more about your car.
Mate, it's we've just come back from the WRC round in Coffs Harbour. The car, we have now confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that it did the original 1968 London and Sydney Marathon. Wow. It also did the 97 Marathon, and Marianne and my wife and I drove it in the 2004. Wow. So it's got a lot of pedigree. So the car has a lot of history itself. What do you like most about this car? Mate, the fact that it's probably been in more countries than any other HMK Monaro in the country. And it's a real, this is a real man's car. Oh, definitely. 620 brake horsepower at the rear wheels, and we built it to drive in the gravel. And I've noticed as I walked in, it's registered, so you still drive this on the road. It is totally road legal. Now, take us through the car. This is obviously not stock standard. This, I'm guessing, it has been KC-fied. It has been rally-fied rather than KC-fied. What do you plan to do with this car in the coming years? Really good question. As I said, we've just done the Coffs Harbour WRC round. The car probably is now getting to be far too valuable to be belting around in the forest, and it's just still a great car for the amount of work that it's done and the places it's been. Now, just before I let you go, just quickly, I heard a rumour that you've actually raced with one of the guys that works on the show, Ross Duncan. I have raced with Dunko on more than one occasion. And I kind of heard, unless I got it wrong, that you might have beat him. In the last event, but we don't want to go there. I want to go there. I'm sure everyone else wants to go there. Ross probably doesn't want you to go there. I wouldn't go there again, but I'm happy to hear about it. Share the story. Mate, it was, we were pushing the envelope. It was head-to-head. We were both driving BDG Escorts. Put a little bit of pressure on him in the night. He's an older man than myself. Pushed him into a corner where he went all out on a particular stage and put it in backwards at the spectator point. Man. Life does not get any better. Doesn't get any sweeter hearing that story either. I've raced him a couple of times. He's tampered with the car. People at home, I've got the evidence. I'm looking forward to the day I get to race him one-on-one. Looking forward to it. Mate, he's still a very quick old man. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you very much for letting us see around your family business as well. It was really good to meet everyone there. Not a problem at all. Now, if you've got a fantastic car or a car that means the world to you, plane or even a boat, we want to hear about it. Go to zoomtv.com.au and tell us all about it. You never know, we could come and visit you and you could tell us all about your car.
Cars these days have funny names, don't they? In the world of Ford, you got weird names like Mondeo and Cougar. Met a few of those in my time. But when it comes to the beast that I'm road testing today, let there be no confusion. In fact, whack on your party hats and jump in. I'm road testing the all-new Fiesta Ford ST. Arriba! When I say party, I mean party, because the all-new redesigned Fiesta ST has got to be the most fun car I have driven in ages. But there's so much to cover, so let's get stuck into it with the exterior. Now the ST is the top model Fiesta, but you can kind of tell by just looking at it. It's got everything that's really in fashion at the moment. Big bold grille, projector headlights with LED daytime runners, dual exhaust, 17-inch alloys, rear spoiler and side skirts. It just looks great. But it's also got performance that's going to blow the hot hatch market wide open. Not only do you get this 1.6 litre turbocharged engine, which is surprisingly economical by the way, the ST handles superbly in all conditions. Really is a pleasure to drive. The thing you notice about the Fiesta ST when you're in control is that, well, you really are in control. The weight balance of the car is spot on, and Ford's stability control system, which lets you flick between normal and sports modes, is very unobtrusive. It means you never have to wrestle the car to get it to do what you want it to do. Paul, this is a sporty little hatch. I must say, I don't usually get to drive these sorts of things around. What have Ford done with this car compared to their previous models?
Well, there's not one nut and bolt left the same on this car. They've changed the engine, the transmission, the suspension, the brakes. They've upgraded all of the interior. It's a lot more modern. Yeah, unbelievable changes.
So they've had, well, the motivation is to keep it sporty, I suppose, and from what I know, this comes only in as a 3-door, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives it that sporty appearance. So.
I guess it keeps the weight down as well.
Yeah, it certainly does.
What's the price on this?
These are $28,490 on the road.
I must admit, I was actually expecting higher than that. Now, those clever designers at Ford have actually done some pretty tricky things inside the cabin too. For instance, some of the engine intake noise is actually funneled back into the cabin, so you get a richer, more throaty sound. Doesn't sound like much, I know, but it really adds up to the driving experience. So let's get stuck into that fairly healthy equipment list that all comes as standard. There's 7 airbags, rain-sensing wipers, smart key with auto entry, and those awesome Recaro sport seats. Oh, by the way, you can also program your ST to do just about anything. You can physically limit your speed, give you speed warning alerts, disable the audio system, or even link your phone to the car so that it automatically calls an ambulance if you're in a heavy crash. Isn't technology amazing? With so many great hatches out there on the road today, you've got to make a pretty special effort if you want to stand out from the crowd. But with the Ford Fiesta ST, this is a party you definitely don't want to miss. If you want more info, follow the links from zoomtv.com.au.
Coming up, I teach Craig Lowndes how to drive fast. That's next on Zoom TV. Okay, today, instead of looking at a car that zooms, we're going to look at someone that makes cars zooms, Mr. Craig Lowndes. How you doing, Craig?
Very well.
Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem at all.
Now, you're going to take me for a ride in this.
We definitely are. We're going to strap you up, we're going to get you changed, and then away we go.
Well, let's go suit up.
Let's go.
Mate, that was incredible. Thank you so much. Mate, look at me, I'm wringing wet. This is unbelievable. How do you do this? Like,
Well, well, I suppose we all grow up doing go-karts, Formula Ford, all the categories, and we eventually get to this stage. And of course, we take it for granted. But when we take people like you for a run, it's so satisfying. Go-karts is where you begin, you learn. You know, you learn all your craft, your lines, your brakes, your momentum, and then of course when you throw a bit of wet weather in there, then they go another level. Get to Formula Ford, you get to introduce your gearbox. You know, then you got your sort of Formula 3, sort of, and then you got wing slicks, and then you come to these big beasts.
Mate, one thing that I have to ask you is, you can't appreciate it unless you actually get out there in the car, but how do you respond so quick?
It's one of those things, if you actually talk to people as a driver when you're driving, they're fine as long as they can find their points. When I say points, your brake marker, your turning point, your apex, your exit, so you're just following the dots because you're trying to memorise where you need to be and position the car on the track, get the right gear in the gearbox, and then away we go. As soon as you start going offline, car gets a bit sideways, then we actually got to start thinking about what we're doing.
I'm sweating. I look like I've been through the jungle and you keep going.
Oh, well, we're used to it, I suppose. We condition ourselves for that temperature. It's about 25 degrees hotter in a car than it is ambient. So if it's a 30-degree day, it's 55 in the car, plus we're decked out in all this gear, you finally get tuned to obviously what to expect. Your sensors and everything else take over. If the car starts to move around, tyres start to go off, a bit wet weather, sun comes out, that's when you start driving. Cars are quite loud and it's quite hard to hear and everything else, but I'm focused on what I'm doing. I got you in the corner of my eye doing this sort of the noddy and basically I'm keeping an eye on you, but I'm watching where the track is and everything else. So there's a lot of things go on in course, and when you've got 30 other cars around you, your peripheral vision becomes very highly sensitive because you're trying to figure out what's around you, not just in front of you. And you got to wait, not only watch what's in front of you, make sure no one's attacking you from behind.
Well, mate, I admire you. Seriously, you are a champion because that was incredible. Now, if you want to know more about Craig, go to his website, craiglowndes.com.au. Now, Craig, I want you to try and have a crack at my job and wrap the show up, okay?
Look, hope you guys had a great vision of the Zoom TV. If you want to find out more about go-karting, growing up in the future of motor racing, go to zoom.com, get to the website, have a look, and you'll see us having a lot of fun.
So he's already stuffed up Zoom TV.
Oh, sorry, Zoom TV.
Zoomtv.com.au. We'll catch you next week. Thanks very
No
much,
worries.
mate. Really appreciate your time.
That's what I do. You do what you do.
Exactly. And that's a wrap.